Read the question carefully. Here we got a mass weighing 16 pounds. That's weight, but we need to find the mass. So mass will be this weight divided by acceleration due to gravity. That's 32. So 1/2. Stretch the spring 4 inches. That's the stretch length. We denote by uppercase L, 4 inches. We need to convert into feet, divide by 12, so 1/3. If the mass is displaced an additional, so displacement is the what we are looking for, u. That's u, okay, or the position or displacement, our variable. The mass is displaced an additional 3 inches and is then set in motion. So those are the initial conditions. So initial displacement u0 is 3 inches. So inch means we need to divide by 12, so 1/4. And initial velocity is 0. I mean, there is none. None means 0. And determine the position, that means the displacement of the mass at any later time. That means ut. What is u at any time t? Also determine the period, amplitude, and phase of the motion. Okay. So from this stretched length uppercase L, we can find the spring constant. Spring constant K is mg, that's the weight, divided by stretched length. The weight is 16 pounds. 16, stretched length is 1/3. So 48. And there is no damping constant. I mean, there is not mentioned damping. Okay, and there is no external force as well. And we know that the model given for these problems, okay, the displacement of spring is m u double prime plus gamma u prime plus ku equals external force 0, and this gamma is also 0. We don't have that. Okay, that's the damping constant. So m is 1/2 u double prime, this is 0, plus k is 48 u equals 0. Let's solve this second order homogeneous linear equation. 1/2 means we can multiply by 2 throughout, then this becomes u double prime 96 u0. Then we can write down characteristic equation, which is r squared plus 96 equals 0. So r equals negative 96 square root, and we got 2 roots because of that. So 96 is 16 times 6. Okay, we got a perfect square factor 16. So this is plus minus 16 times 6. 6i, 16 means 4. So plus minus 4 root 6i. Those are the 2 roots. Then when with these 2 roots, we can write down the solution. U is C1. Okay, there is no real part. So when we have pure imaginary solutions, then C1 cosine 4 root 60 plus C2 sine same thing 4 root 60. Okay, now we need to determine the values of C1 and C2 using these two initial conditions. Initial displacement is 1/4. Let's use that. So using u at 0 equals 1/4. So this u is 1/4 when time is 0. C1 times cosine 0. Okay, C1 times cosine when t is 0, this is 0. So cosine 0 is 1 plus C2 times sine 0 is 0. So this is 0. So 1/4 equals C1. Okay, that is C1 equals 1/4. Okay. Now we need to find derivative of this solution to use second initial value, because u prime at 0 equals 0. U prime means we need to find the derivative. Okay, so derivative of this function is C1 is constant. Derivative of cosine is negative sine of this one, and from the chain rule this number comes to the front. So cosine means negative sine, so negative, and this number 4√6 C1. I mean, in fact, we can put the value of C1 if we like, but let's skip C1 for now. Derivative of cosine is sine, negative sine, sine 4√6t, plus derivative of sine is cosine. So same thing, 4√6 C2 cosine 4√6t. Okay. Now using second initial condition, which is u prime at 0, initial velocity is 0. So this u prime is 0 when t is 0. So this one, look at here, sine 0. 0 times this number is 0. Sine 0 means the whole term is 0. Plus 4√6 C2 times cosine of 0, which is 1. Okay, so we got 4√6 C2 equals 0. We can divide by 4√6. So in fact this makes C2 0. Okay, this one 4√6 C2 is 0 means C2 must be 0. So C1 is 1/4 and C2 is 0. Our solution is here. Okay, so we go back here and plug in the value. Thus the displacement at any time t is given by C1, which is 1/4, okay, 1/4 cosine 4√6t plus C2, that happens to be 0, so this is it. And the question asks more, determine the period. Okay, for sine cosine, even if we had sine term, this is, we can think like omega inside 4√6 is, that's the natural frequency, omega. So the period is, it's a trigonometry period, is just 2 pi over omega. Okay, that's just 2 pi over 4√6. You can simplify, 2 goes 2 times pi over 2√6. Okay, that is period. Then it asks for amplitude. This number in front of cosine 1/4, that's the amplitude. One-fourth. What else? Phase of the motion. Okay, since this is just cosine, there is no sine term, and 4√6t minus some number, that would have been the phase of the motion, but there is nothing, so 0 in this case. Okay, final.